Why would people call garden designers hate nature?
I think it's because his potential to do the three camp pulls is really really strong. I don't know if you've seen that yet.
No, I haven't seen any of them doing the free camp pulls.
Not in this event. I've seen it in like Premier like Star Ladder, one of the earlier Star Ladders. You can do it. You use your trees to stack the camps while you're dealing with a camp if you need to, and then you can just
Mm.
pull like multi stacks. You can pull. I think the record that I saw was 6 waves of troops being eaten up by creeps.
Jesus.
Because
That's incredible.
you're making the trees out of the trees, so there's no barrier between you and the camps. And from
Yeah,
especially
so
as Radiant,
you get the line of sight.
yeah, especially as Radiant. Normally you see Dire Banner, but especially as Radiant in that bottom camp there, from that bottom camp you can pull the 3 camps if you do it right. Because there's no trees, there's direct line of sight. Because you've seen the pull through, right? The bottom
Yeah,
lane
yeah.
pull through. Yeah, so it's just
What
like
a
that.
pain ban.
This is a
Interesting,
setup.
interesting
This
bans
is
coming out.
this is a setup for Puck.
True, a puck would be a good choice in this situation. The Wisp ban this early though was very interesting. I mean, because they don't have anybody to combat with Wisp in their team, so they're not particularly likely to pick up a Wisp anyway. But he is a very strong character.
Yeah, Wisp's one of those ones where definitely in a team game, if you've got the right team people to, I don't know, what's the word I'm
Well,
looking
yeah,
for?
he
If
needs
you,
one of those characters. He needs like something like Tiny, Sven, Chaos Knight, and then you get those instant Wisp relocates and ganks
yeah, but it's
going on.
also
So
like
he's an
people
incredibly
that
strong character.
it's also like I've seen really weird things. Like I've seen Storm Spirit and Wisp working amazingly good together because you tether to the guy as he's lightning, and you just travel with him.
That's crazy.
Also, you can do this thing where you can always guarantee the stun because you can jump onto the other side to guarantee that the Wisp tether hits them.
Hmm.
So you can do
Hero pick from GD. That's interesting. They've basically got 3 supports now, so the last 2 picks are going to have to be carry.
yeah. They're not wanting to give. They've given away probably their long lane, so they're probably just trying to keep what their tri lane combination is going to be, so they don't get counterpicked.
True. I mean, because you're likely to see the Darkseer Solo, Rubik, and Jakiro on the tri lane, which means that they're going to need somebody to go into that.
Yeah, so they're not.
Be somebody
They don't
basically
want to.
standard.
They don't want to give away who that is. They want it to be a reveal. Same as their mid. They want to have options. They don't want to lock in who their mid is early. So at this phase, just from the drafting, the way they're drafting, I'm favoring GD just because the way that they've drafted, they haven't given anything away. Whereas Kumakan, straight away they've given away their potential mid with their first pick.
Yeah, with the Magnus. But I mean, if you're going to get a Magnus, you have to get the Magnus on the first pick. You're always brewing in a broadcast that you're picking a Magnus because you need him as fast as possible, so he doesn't either get banned or picked by the enemy team.
You are
Essence
right.
Void is an interesting choice. Yeah.
You don't see him much in competitive
You know,
play. I'm not sure why,
yeah.
because he seems really strong. Is it just because the
He's
potential, the chrono just leaves you alone, or?
Well, the chrono can really fuck up a team fight, which is the problem. It can be really screwed up. I think it's like not a very good pick versus a Rubik as well, because unless he traps the Rubik in it, the Rubik can steal your ult and then re-chronosphere the enemy team, thus trapping them out, rendering
Yeah,
Faceless
but
Void's ult mostly useful for the team fights.
well, not necessarily. I know I've seen this happen before. Faceless Void can walk around on both chronos.
Oh yeah, yeah. He isn't affected by his own Chronos, but you know, you're not going to be able to pick up any of the ranged characters being able to do anything useful because you suddenly have a Rubik who's locked them out of play.
DK
So
is
we're
their
going for
mid.
the triple-headed dragon. Huh. That's someone you don't see very often at all.
Man,
I
again,
do love Lich.
like you said before, they're just lining up all these heroes for Rubik to go. I'm going to pick your ult this time.
I know. I mean, that's shit. Even Nyx Assassin has beautiful spells for Rubik to spell. They're all beautiful spells for Rubik to steal. Actually, even like Lich's Sacrifice is a beautiful spell
Yeah,
to steal for
sacrifice.
Rubik.
Yeah, there's so many. This is not what I would have expected. They're just lining up heroes for Rubik to just pick out what they want.
Well, I don't know. His ult on a 25 seconds cooldown. He can only choose one of those spells, and it's probably going to be the RP
That's interesting.
or Faceless Void is there.
They banned it Visage. I would have thought that there'd be if they'd wanted Visage, they would have
Yeah.
picked it up early.
Well, I mean, nobody's likely to pick Visage. They've already got 2 supports on Kuma Clan, and they've got 2 supports on GD. It seems to be a waste of ban. I would have probably banned out another carry actually, so Kuma Clan couldn't pick up somebody else.
Again
And
with the
Trent,
Trent, same deal with the tree. They've already got their supports. Anti-mage.
the anti-mage. I need to farm for 20 minutes and I win the game. Hello. Ha.
I see. They're looking to stack ults. That's how they're playing. Polarity
Yeah.
polarity into a storm or vice versa, and then a chronosphere with a liches.
On top of that, with a lich ult on top of that.
Whereas the GD is looking to play the lanes early. They want that early lane advantage. KK wants late game advantage. Or team fight advantage.
So you're going to get to see what? Magnus mid. Who's going to be solo? Because you can't leave Face's Void solo. He's too squishy at the start.
It'll have to be Nyx.
Nyx will solo. Lich can solo as well, just because of the strength of the sacrifice and the spam ability. He can survive in a lane solo, and it lets him get his ult pretty fast.
Even with shells, because I guess you can consume the guys if they shell your creeps. You can just consume it. So I guess who's going to be the long lane.
Them.
But we may see like a next level player where they choose not to put Darkseid in the long lane.
Well, they're going anti-mage, Darkseid.
No one picking up smoke on GD. They are picking up normal sentries.
They're all going bot into the forest.
Yeah, they want to guard their own jungle. Looking at what the items are, so far Lich just picked up nothing. He's picked up. He's getting his items late for some reason. But no one's purchased smoke.
I just standard pickup. I don't think you'll see a smoke pickup in this. If anybody's gonna be smoking, it would be GD coming up from the bottom. Because with all of them together, it's a good place for a smoke.
Looks like we're going to have 2 defensive trail lanes in the setup. Everyone's going to protect their own camps.
Yeah. So what have we got?
Now's the time that
Disruptor and Face's Void.
Now's the time where they realise the other teams in protecting their jungle. Do they make the decision to go from a defensive trail lane to an offensive? Can they do that? Probably on the GD side, but probably not so much on the KK side.
Huh. This is interesting. They're all sitting around.
Oh, they're just waiting for runes and bottom of regen being picked up by Rubik immediately.
Yep.
Didn't do the next level play, which is just to kill it, to say, hey, I don't need this rune because I'm strong enough.
Let's pick it up. Okay. So,
And they're positioning themselves. They may get first blood on the bottom if this Darkseid doesn't play conservatively. Oh, sorry, it's not even Darkseid, the Lich. Wrong team.
It's the Lich. So it was right. Yeah, see, so Rubik and Jakira coming in from behind.
He's not expecting, he's expecting Darkseid to be here.
A pickup.
Yeah. First blood.
And the wall.
Oh, wow. No body block. No body blocks.
And
first blood.
409 gold to GD.
the Rubik.
Yeah. They weren't expecting that Lich was not expecting them to be there. He was expecting it to be a Darkseid.
Yeah.
Like I said before, they had the opportunity to change up their lanes.
It was not meant.
And this, Jesus Christ, this Void getting absolutely punished by this Darkseid. He's almost going to go down.
Destroy.
He's dead. He's dead. This
They
is
can get it.
no, he backs
He's
off.
Backed off. He's backed off.
Wow, the rest of his team not even doing anything to help. That could have been a dead Darkseid also.
Oh. Well, the Nexus picked his mana burn up first instead of a stun, which is interesting. And there's no kinetic wall from the Disruptor, so they couldn't have stopped him. He probably could have guaranteed that kill and run off the other side and got it, but he would have been very low. He probably would have died just to the basic attacks. So he was probably right to pull out.
In the middle here, you see the the Dragon Knight taking quite a lot of harassment damage from early spam of that shockwave.
It's to be expected. I mean, they're two characters that basically harass in the exact same way. One with Flame Breath, one with Shockwave. But Dragonite isn't kind of harassing anywhere near as much as the Magnus is. The Magnus is probably playing the Bottle Crow.
Yeah, he's sitting at
He's
9
getting that much.
CS.
He's
CS
running out of
there's
his
one
mana
creep
too
in it.
quickly.
There's one creep in it for CS, so they're going toe to toe. Rubik coming in to deny their rune. Excellent rune control.
Oh yeah, that Lich is well forced out of lane. Couldn't even drop a ward to prevent them pulling, but they don't even need to pull.
See, at this point, this is where I'd be deciding, hey, look, this Lich lineup is a good counter for Darkseer. Why don't we rotate? But they're still picking that the farm is going to be better for them. And we've got Disruptor sitting here ready to do some kind of gank. Nope.
Yeah, he's just kind of warding. See, and the Rubik also has 2 sentry wards, so he's planning to do a bit of counter warding as well.
He had that from the beginning. I think that was intention so that he could de-ward their own camp if it had been warded out.
Yeah.
Or
So
sometimes
expecting that tri lane.
they could have made a decision to go top and just use it to use it as blocking if you're going to use it for anything else. This Lich is going to be punished here. He's not going to be able to get any XP.
Yeah, when they're stacking and pulling,
They're going to do a pull through too.
can't control anything.
They're about to do a pull through.
Oh, that's nice.
They're actually right clicking the mobs down. Oh, they want to get the timing right, I see. Oh, and they missed the chance to pull another wave. Just because they were being conservative on the right clicks. But they do pull through. Nope, it's a fail pull through. The top lane here, Darkseer not really shutting these guys down.
Tower is under attack.
No, that Faceless Void is pretty much free farming. 19 last hits, 6 denies. He's out farming the anti-mage who is free farming in bottom lane. So it's only a minor advantage, but it's still a decent advantage, especially with those denies, really denying the Darkseer any of the XP.
Bottle picked up on Dragon Knight. What's Magnus got? Magnus also got bottle.
He hit his bottle very early. I suspect he may have been pulled a bit of regen, because he hit his bottle very quickly.
My gratitude. Next.
Yeah, this Lich is having a hard time. He can't really do anything.
He can't even get in. Well, with the Rubik and the Jakiro there, the amount of time Hibbe's done for him, he can't afford to even show his head. He really needs to rotate out of there. He's just going to end up... He can deny one creep every wave with his sacrifice, but other than that, he can't do anything. I mean, he's only level 2, Anti-Mage is level 5. He needs to be getting in there, harassing the Anti-Mage. But Anti-Mage, of course, took up a spell shield, 1 point in that, and he even takes half damage from any of the spells. Lich can't even harass him correctly.
Yeah.
Lich should at this point probably swap out with somebody else.
Yeah, as I said earlier. At this earlier on about sort of the 2-minute mark, it would have been I would have made the decision to rotate Lich to top to counter the Darkseer. Although
there's nobody who can really rotate down.
Although they are getting the farm, so while their Lich is not really doing anything, they're winning the top lane. Just.
I mean, the Faceless Void has the most farm, but that Anti-Mage is rapidly caught up. The thing is that the Lich just can't punish an Anti-Mage just because of his natural spell resistance, and with his poor man's shield. Even if he does basic melee, basic attacks, it's not going to do anything to him. He just has too low base damage and too low magic damage. Looks like the Dragon Knight is coming bottom. He may pick this up for a rune. He could come over to gank. Ah, he's just heading back to lane. Well, that wasn't very exciting, Dragon Knight.
No, they're pressured in. There's nothing. He's pressured right in against the tower. There's no chance really they're going to snipe him unless they want to go for a dive. In which case they don't. I don't see that working out favourably. He might just pull back and then get the XP from the creeps that push through. So they're winning this lane. They don't need to send someone to gank.
Well, they're currently winning every lane except for top lane. Dragon Knight has actually caught up quite nicely in his last hits. He's beating the mag slightly in lane, drawing even. So it's pretty much 1 for 1 in middle lane. Mag will have his boots soon. He's got a level 7.
Here we go. We see this Darkseer pushing up. Is he going to push? Is he going to follow the way? He is. He's potentially out of position here. He could get trapped. They're waiting. Next is going to go in first to initiate. And this is going to be a this could be potentially be dead Darkseer. No.
He just uses his mana burn, which doesn't do anything against the Darkseer.
No, but I think that's why they're winning the top lane. Because I play Darkseer. I know that if you're going to do this dual Iron Shell on the wave, you need that mana to do it.
With a constant mana burn, you can't cast any Iron Shells, and suddenly you can't do anything in lane.
Yeah, you can't do anything in lane, so you can't put the double Iron Shells on the leaf. Even though he's got a Soul Ring, it's still not enough to pull him through. So the mana burn is actually being effective at what it's supposed to be doing. It's unfortunate he's in this position where he's just trying to block the creeps as much as possible. He's not side pulling, which he could potentially do, but he's just trying to block them. Doesn't want them to run in and just steal the creeps on the side camp as well.
Yeah, I mean he does have a tango. He could go start the side pulling, but
Or RP used in the middle. Dragon Knight using his ult to kind of flee but then turn around. Bit of indecisiveness from both of them. Yeah, both of them indecisive about what they're actually going to do. First he goes to high ground, then
haste there. He probably could have tricked him.
yeah, he went high ground, then he went back into the river thinking, oh, I'm going to back off. Then he said, oh wait, I'll go for it. Ulted, ran back into the high ground, shot at him, then said, oh, I better get out of here. Ran to the low ground, got skewered as he was deciding to go back to the high ground again. So just a bit of indecisiveness.
He wasn't even hit by the skewer. He managed to successfully dodge it, which was a pretty poor skewer on Magnus's part, but a pretty nice dodge on Dragon Knight's part. Magnus has mana boots, so he can spam that frickin' shockwave.
Yeah. You can see in this top lane here. I don't.
For this Darkseer.
He's not really shutting them down though. He's He's getting last
He's not
hits.
shutting them down, but he's not getting ganked. So he is getting his farm. I mean, heck, he's halfway up the field into farm, and he's against the trike lane. Which is still managing to maintain a decent amount of farm. He managed to pick up a Trunkle Boots there. However, Anti-Mage is level 8. He's got a string of health and a poor man's shield heading towards that classic Battle Fury.
This here might be get caught out of position. He sees him, he runs.
Oh, he's too
Low
fast,
on
I can't catch him.
low on her. Almost got.
Very close.
They waited for him to go for that rune as a bit of a bait. They thought like he's going to come for this rune. Just get in position, let's try and catch him. Unfortunately, he was just slightly over onto the dire side, just against that wall of Rashad, which gave him that extra like millisecond to be able to get out.
I know, half a second slower he would have been trapped in that and picked up by Rubik and thrown somewhere he did not want to be. Top lane, still boring as hell.
Yeah, there's not much in it. There's one death, so
Oh, here we go, stun coming out next there.
nah, no team support, no follow
Body
up.
blocking. No team support.
Oh wait.
A glimpse comes out.
Is under attack.
Nah, still he's going to get away.
Where was the Faceless Void?
The team follow through. Lack of communication there. No follow through.
Tis mine.
Darkseer finally going back to base after one last Iron Shell. I love his ballsiness.
That's how you do. I don't know if you play Darkseer or not, but the fact that you're not XP wise, but CS wise, your Iron Shell does all the work for you. So if you need to go back to base, throw an Iron Shell as you walk past the line, as you walk past the creep. They'll get one or two for you, especially at maxed out level.
Is under attack.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more ganks coming out of the Rubik and Jakiro for GD, but they've maintained a decent farm in the forest there.
Yeah, I think this Faceless it's going to be a face-off in the Faceless versus Anti-Mage, and I think Faceless wins in the scenario. He's going to trap that Anti-Mage eventually.
Well, I mean, just with the Chronosphere versus an Anti-Mage, the Anti-Mage has a terrible, terrible health pool through most of the game.
Looks like he's completed his Mask of Madness, so that's going to help there.
Anti-Mage has built up quite a decent chunk of money. Still not near his Battle Fury.
Middle.
Yeah, Dragonite.
With a glimpse. And blocked in with the
nice save by Jakiro.
Oh, RP. And a skill.
Geez.
And picked
comes
up.
in, saves him.
Nah, and everyone's gonna get out.
Oh,
Oh. And this Disruptor doing all the work, blocking off everybody, so and he's gonna pay for it. He's gonna pay for it with his life. Lich ulting, picking off
this Lich will get away easily.
Lich picking up both
Lich got some.
Who did Lich get?
He got Rubik. I don't think he got anybody else, did he? Yeah, he just got Rubik. That gave him some much needed farm and much needed experience. Now he's rotated into the middle.
That fight going in the way of
Actually,
in GD's favour? 1 for 3?
I'd say it went in one in GD's
1 for
favour.
2.
It was a very messy fight overall.
Graph said there's only 500 gold in it and 500 XP. Tight game.
Actually, that Lich hasn't done too badly for himself, considering he's had almost no farm. He's level 8. He's still ahead of most of the sports and other teams.
2 headdresses. Is that an error?
Oh, that's weird.
I think he's made a mistake. There'd be no reason to stack those. I mean, you want to get a pipe and you want to get a mech, but you don't want to get half of either.
The only thing that yeah, I mean you get your second headdress for your mask. If he gets his mech very quickly, that second headdress will stack with a mech, but getting both of them at the same time is not a particularly great idea. It does still give him quite a lot of attributes. It is very cheap, and it does give him bonus regen.
Indeed it does. Gives him bonus regen and plus 2 to stats, but still seems a weird method to go.
Yeah, he'd be much... I can only assume he's made a mistake there, and should have been going for the second part of his mech. Oh, this looks like it could be interesting. And Anti-Mage blinks away.
Well, that's what he does, right? He's an evasion hero, that's what he does. Doesn't like the scenario, he gets out.
Yeah. Needed a little... If there was a bit of a blink in there from Faces forward, he probably could have trapped him with his ult and beaten him down. I mean, he still has less than 1,000 hit points, Anti-Mage. He is terrible at stat gain.
Well, he's getting closer to
Then
his
again,
Battle Fury. He's still a little way off.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Picked up his Claymore, has his Ring of Health, has enough money for... Rubik finally picks up his Mana Boots. Still hasn't successfully stolen any spells though.
These guys at the bottom, they're looking for a kill. They can see him out of position. They want him to push further, but he's not having any of it. He's just chilling back.
He's hiding back.
No, is he going to take the bait? Is he going to take the bait? There's no vision for them. Check the vision. There's no vision. He doesn't know.
Like cordwood before axe's axe.
Is he going to take the bait?
Top tower is under attack.
And Lich is sitting there nice and behind with his ult.
We just missed Rubik die too.
No,
Sup,
No?
bro?
What's
up?
up? We're watching this game.
I am too.
Join our panel discussion. Why
Dragonite comes in. No.
were there 2 headdresses on the Lich? Now,
There's no good reason for 2 headdresses.
now he has 1 headdress and
In fact, he sold one and bought a buckler, so it was just straight up a mistake. Luckily, it's only going to cost him about 250 gold, so it's not a huge mistake, but still.
does delay the mech.
Steve, we had a guy abandoned, so we can probably just leave this game soon.
Okay.
Much like cordwood before Axe's axe, Dyer's top tower is under attacks.
Darkseer heavily pressuring that Nyx from behind the tower up there in top lane.
No, the thing that he can do though, Nyx, you can just pop their carapace and stun him in place. This is the greatness of it, but he's going to deny that tower.
And Nyx is going to deny top tower.
As if despite Axe, Dyer's middle tower is not what it used to be.
Dragonite stolen the shockwave. Excellent. That is always a fun spell to see on a Rubik. Gives you a heck of a lot of...
Oh wow, RP, oh massive play down the bottom. RP followed by a Disruptor and a Chrono all at the same time. Overlapping each other, keeping them in play. He couldn't blink away. He went from being stuck in a Chrono to being stuck in a Static Storm and then being stuck in an RP.
Excellent player. This is exactly what we were expecting to see out of this team. Those giant wombo combos of ults locking half of the team into place in one go.
Only picked off 2 guys. Could have been more, but they definitely wanted to get that anti-mage. They wanted to stop his farm. They wanted to slow him. And he's only 650 off of finishing his Battle Fury. He probably would have only been 300 off, but that's, oh wow, that's still a slowdown.
Still, I mean, it dropped anti-mage from being the top net worth in the game to being second net worth. He's now behind the Faceless Void.
Are you guys recording this game?
No.
Tower is under attack.
No, we were going to record it, but the service went down. So we're just practicing and having fun.
Sure. You guys want to do an in-house?
We could do that.
How many people can we get
Tower
together?
is under attack.
How many have we got so far?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 in Mumble.
Oh yeah, you know what? You
I
can
play
put Paul
particularly
and JJ.
poorly.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
I've definitely got enough mates on there I can organise one.
Dude,
Right.
you saw like Rothelstomp playing. You play well better than all those losers.
Lols.
I mean, did you see that Visage in the last game? Terrible.
Yeah, I didn't play very well.
So bad I never even saw him. I mean, what the hell?
It just wasn't in any of the team
The
fights.
red mist spreads.
That was my
at
worst game I've had in
Radiant's
ages.
middle tower. Radiant's top
Middle,
tower
man.
is
Smoke
under
gang coming
attack.
through, all 5. Smoked up.
Oh, coming up through.
They're gonna get green.
Oh, they're gonna find this Faceless Void.
I'm just gonna.
Oh, they're gonna
so
find this
cute.
Faceless Void.
I'll play
Pick
with you
up,
guys
pick up,
another day. See ya.
Boom! Exploded.
Darkness. Welcome.
Insta-gibbed.
Yep. That's very nice. That's gonna definitely hold him back.
Nice little cheap pick off. Psychological too.
It's really helping that Andy mate. 270 gold off his Battle Fury, which means he can start flash farming the jungles.
Radiant's middle tower
No,
is
they want
under
this tower.
attack.
They want to
Radiant
push this
structures
tower.
are fortified.
Yeah, they're gonna keep pushing. Let's just push it down on the bottom, but he doesn't have the damage to take that bottom
Is
tower.
under attack.
Everyone TPing
Putting out
into.
Hulk, teleporting
Yeah.
on top.
Tower is under attack.
Next is sitting there in stealth, waiting to come
Oh,
in.
they just did it to pull the TPs. Immediately anti-mage to bottom once he saw that the lich is gone.
Just guaranteeing him that entire lane of farm.
Oh wow.
That's a very, very smart move by TG. That was beautiful. Made him
This
pop all of the jets. They're all still sitting in that forest.
that unfortunately it cost them that
Dakura was
Dakura.
well out of position. Well out of position.
No, what happens is they chased him down, he got stunned, then he got skewered on top of the hill.
Ah, okay. Oh, yeah, nothing you can do about that. Nick's coming down here to deal with the anti-mage. Good luck, Nix.
Yeah, he can't really do anything. It didn't do anything at all. And he's already
It
regenerated
blew
it.
his mana, which means that it's going to be a bit stroggy, but he's got his Battle Fury there.
And now the fun begins. Pre-stacked camps.